All right, friends, for today's lesson, we are going to be responding to the response sheet on hot water, cold water, and this is on page 13 in your water student booklet. All right, let's take a look at the question that's being asked. Last January, it got very cold in a town in Wisconsin. The temperature was below negative 15 degrees Celsius. And I just want to point out that negative 15 degrees Celsius is equivalent to or equal to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. 5 degrees. Now, keep in mind that 2 degrees Fahrenheit, it hits the freezing point. Okay? So let's continue. So that happened for more than 7 days in a row. Students came into class on the third day telling stories about water pipes bursting in their neighborhood. Their teacher asked them to think about why this happened. Write a note to this teacher. Explain why you think the pipes broke during this freezing cold weather. Now, friends, if you remember in the lesson that we did before, in which we were reading about ice history, there was a whole little section right there on why pipes burst. So I'm going to use that as a resource for us here. So we're going to, let's see here, we're going to write a note to the teacher. So I'm going to say, Dear teacher. If you want to put a name of a teacher, you're welcome to do that. It's entirely up to you. Okay, and we want to make sure we explain why we think the pipes broke during the freezing cold weather. Well, let's take a look again at why pipes burst, because that will give us some really good insight into what we can say. Pipes supply water to houses, schools, and other buildings. They may be made of plastic, copper, cast iron, steel, or other materials. They're made to be strong, but sometimes pipes burst. Do you know why? All right, so here is the blurb that's going to explain why pipes burst. Most things contract or grow smaller when they get cold. Water shrinks as it cools too. But when water gets down to 4 degrees Celsius, okay, 39 degrees Fahrenheit, it starts to expand. The colder it gets, the more it expands until it freezes. That means ice takes up more space than liquid water does. Ice needs room to expand, or it will break its container. There it is right there, boys and girls. So, dear teacher, okay, I learned in science class that water expands when it is frozen. Now, keep in mind, it gets down to 4 degrees Celsius. This was at negative 15 degrees Celsius. 39 degrees Fahrenheit versus 5 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a difference of 34 degrees. Okay? Since it was so cold, okay, below 39 degrees Fahrenheit, the pipes could not expand. The pipes could not expand, so they broke. Okay, and you might want to say something about how ice takes up more space than liquid water does, because if you remember correctly, when we did our math extension, that was an important thing to understand, that for every 50 milliliters of water, you can only really put 45 milliliters in there because you need that 5 milliliters for it to expand. So, since ice takes up more space than liquid water, okay? Since ice takes up more space than liquid water, the pipes couldn't hold the frozen liquid or the frozen water, okay? And notice that this is some very good insight, boys and girls, as to what could have happened. Another thing that could have happened is that, and this is one of your key vocabulary words, is the word insulation. If the pipes were not wrapped with insulation, okay, that could be another reason why they broke. If the pipes were not wrapped with insulation, that could be another reason. They broke. Okay? These are my ideas. These are my, just draw another line there. These are my ideas as to why the pipes broke. I hope they help you better understand the problem. Sincerely, your name. Friends, you know that do not have to copy exactly what I say. You are more than welcome to put your thoughts down there. However, I did want to point out that this here is a great explanation to help prep you for this particular response question. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to answer it. And I'll read it as a whole just to make sure it sounds good and see if there's anything else we need to tweak or change. Dear teacher, I learned in science class that water expands when it is frozen. Since it's so cold, below 39 degrees Fahrenheit, the pipes got expand, so they broke. Since ice takes up more space than liquid water, the pipes couldn't hold the frozen liquid. If the pipes were not with insulation, that could be another reason they broke. These are my ideas as to why the pipes broke. I hope they help you better understand the problem. Sincerely, your name. So, what do you think? Sounds good? Okay, well, if it doesn't, you are more than welcome to change it however you would like. Okay? Make sure you touch on those topics, and I will see you in the next lesson.